Happy Sunday afternoon. Welcome wherever you are on this really gloomy Sunday afternoon in Texas. I didn't even look at the weather before I got on, but let me tell you, it is humid and I have had to turn on the AC today. Who would have known a week ago and a week and a half ago that we would need to be turning on our ACs? I'm telling you, y'all, that is Texas weather for you. So, but welcome. Hi, Landa. Thank you for joining me. If you are on Facebook right now, you are probably watching me live. And if my sense of direction is on target, you should see a little live thing up here in the, probably this side. I get my directions mixed up. But today is Sunday, and it is the last day of the month, February. Can you believe that? I have been running around all day long like I'm missing children looking for children, but I'm not missing children. I'm just being shorted 3 days, 2 to 3 days, depending on if you have a month that ends with 30 days or 31 days. I don't know, but we're all getting shorted, you guys. I normally do a lot in my last 3 days to prepare last minute things for the next month. And I woke up this morning realizing, Barbara, you don't have 2 or 3 more days. Hi, Susan. You only have till midnight tonight to get your act together. So I have been running around trying to get things ready for tomorrow, trying to finish up what I was already supposed to have done for today. And meanwhile, it is so humid out there that I had to turn the air on. And I had to pull my hair back to get my hair out of my face. I had to turn the ceiling fan on, the whole 9 yards. But I'm here. And I'm glad you guys are here as well. And if you're watching me live, thank you for joining me. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. And if you're watching me on YouTube, thank you to my YouTube subscribers. And thank you for subscribing to my channel. And I hope that you're getting some inspiration and some great ideas, not just with my Sunday lives, but also if you scrapbook and you join me on Wednesday evenings at 7. And I am in San Antonio, Texas, and I go live at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays with scrapbook layouts. So, but let me go back and do a really quick introduction. My name is Barbara Ragsdale, and I am a demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I do live in the San Antonio, Texas area. So if you are looking for some crafting time and some local events, by all means, visit my website, check out my calendar. There's an open crop every single month. Hi, Denise. Hi, Jackie. There goes that frog again. There's an open crop every month. There is a free class that is also at the same time as the open crop, but if you need something and you want to do something during the week, there's also one every Wednesday. I think right before lunchtime is my time. And so you're always free to stop in and make a free card, or and especially for beginners. If you've never heard of Stampin' Up, or you'd like to know more about it and you want some one-on-one time with me to answer any questions that you might have, you're always free to stop by one of the events and just hang out with me in the craft studio and see all the neat stuff that we have, because if you're not familiar with Stampin' Up, we are a paper crafting company, and we have, right now there's 3 catalogs, and there's also a promotion that's going on that ends today as well. And when I get the camera pointed down, I will go through the books super quick just to show you what you're going to be missing. If you don't get it by midnight tonight, basically, it'll be gone. It won't be something that you can earn for free again. And if you really like it, and I do actually have some favorites during this celebration period. There was a lot of neat product that you could earn for free for your $50 purchase, or even if you had a $100 purchase. And then there was also the Great Join Special as well, which just means you purchase your kit. It's the normal deal where you can get $125 worth of product for only $99 plus tax. I have a whole breakdown here. I'll show you, but we're going to go ahead and get started. And because it's the end of the month, I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity today to go ahead and feature next month's monthly online ordering special. So I hope you're ready. It's a cute set. And if you've seen it, if you have your copy of the January to June 2021 mini catalog and you've seen it, I wanted to shake it up a little bit and do something fun and colorful for the month of March, just to help celebrate, I don't know, spring colors, I guess you could say. Springy kind of retro colors. It's really cute. Hi, Shirley. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for sharing. Thank you guys for all of your shares, actually. That helps spread the love and helps show the video to more people and have them join us on a Sunday afternoon. Thank you for sharing, Shirley. And by the way, if you're watching the replay for your first time and I'm talking to people, these are people that are on with me live. Thank you for the heart. I'm not sure who did that. I think it was Shirley. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. That happens. But I did want to thank you. Thank you for sharing the videos, and thank you for all your likes and your hearts and all your comments. If I don't get to all of the comments when we're live, I always go back and go through and make sure that I didn't miss any. So, but when you also like, comment, and share, that also gets you into the drawing for whatever I'm doing each particular week. And I don't just do cards. I also do other like little mini projects. We do home decor and things like that. We primarily do cards, but I'm here to show you people on for the first time. What's your last thought? See, you know what? Thanks for the reminder, but you know what? Even with that, I probably wouldn't remember where I was going. That's just my mind. I don't know. Sometimes when I go back and watch my videos, I'm like, where was I going with that? Or I'll start on one particular thought and then end up saying something completely different. But that's my mind. And that's just because there's so much to share with Stampin' Up. It's like, where do you start? So, but anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. And then whatever else I got to bring up along the way, we will bring that up. And I think I got everything ready. So I hope you guys are ready. And let's go ahead and get this pointed around and get this up this way. Let's see. I want to make sure that we can see this pretty good. So there is, it still shows February. Let me get this where I can actually see some comments a little bit here. I think that'll work. But there is my website. So if you're watching me and you see anything today that you'd like, I'm trying to get it to where I can actually read some comments. So I might have to pull it out a little bit more and tilt it that way. I think that'll work because that way I can see some comments if I look up real quick. But there is my website, and we're not yet March. Tomorrow this is going to be a completely different code. And of course this QR code will change. Oops, I'm not sure what that did. Let's get it back on that wheel. But that's the QR code. So basically what you can do is when you're watching my video, if you have a wish list and you want to go create a wish list, or you know exactly what you want to buy, you can go straight to my website, just scan in that QR code and it'll take you there. And I left it like this for today because you might want to be able to take advantage of last minute celebration items. This sale ends tonight at midnight. So if you have not had a chance to get any of these items for free, and we're talking about designer series paper. That wasn't my favorite one, but I will show you my favorite one. All of these that I'm going to show you right now, they're free with a $50 purchase, which just means it's before tax and shipping. So you have this Paper Blooms Designer Series paper. You also have this Darling Donkeys Cling Stamp Set, which is super cute. You also have this Approaching Perfection Cling Stamp Set that's free with a $50 purchase. You've got this Oso Ombre Designer Series paper, which is 48 sheets of 6x6 double-sided paper. The other one that I showed you was a full 12 by 12 pack. This Oso Ombre is the only one that is 6x6. Okay, and then you also have Corner Bouquet, another cling stamp set. And then this was my favorite one for this celebration because I really liked the font and I really liked the sentiments as well. So this is Heal Your Heart. That one's also free. And then this paper was my favorite. I know you guys, if you watch me from week to week, y'all have seen me use this paper in several different cards and projects. But this is the Flower and Field Designer Series paper. That I love. I love, love, love. Okay, and those are just more products about it. And then this one and the next one I'm going to show you, these are free with a $100 purchase. And this one's called Touch of Ink. It is a photopolymer stamp set. And the reason why it's 100 is because it's got two different images in there. There's more to the stamp set than it would normally be. So they listed that one as $100. Free with a $100 purchase. And then the other one is actually a bundle. That is a bundle, and I meant to bring my little kit over. I do have, the month of February was a kit, a free kit that had some of the Berry Blessings, the Berry Delightful Designer Series paper, and also used the Blessings stamp set as well as the Strawberry bundle from the mini catalog. And you can still get that free if you want. I actually had somebody yesterday place an order, and I gave her the option. She could go ahead and choose the February kit, or she could choose the March kit. And she chose the March kit after I told her what it was. So, but because it's just the end of the month, I'm just going to give people that option. It's no biggie for me. But definitely, if you want any of these items for free, you definitely want to do this before midnight tonight, wherever you are. And then if you host, which I don't know that you could actually host, but you could get around that. But if you place at least a $300 order, you're going to get a, let me show you on this side, this free host stamp set called Punch Party that coordinates with the double oval punch. Wow, they were loud. The heart punch pack and the rectangular postage stamp out of the, I think it's out of the mini catalog or the annual. I can't remember where that rectangular postage stamp is. Oh, it's annual catalog. It says it right there, Barbara. So that's a really cute stamp set. But if you're going to host just to get that for free, I mean, you could certainly do that. But let me share with you really quick here before we really do get started is the Join Special. And this just means you're purchasing your kit in order to get the discount. And somewhere I had my little sheet. Oh, here it is, right here. Okay. Here's my little sheet that just tells you all that you're going to get before midnight if you decide to purchase your kit in order to get this paper for free. And what they're doing is it's the normal products that you can get, which is completely customizable. You get to choose whatever you want to put in your kit. Nobody tells you what you're going to get. You choose. And then you're also going to get a free paper pumpkin kit. They're going to throw a kit in there for you. And then they're also going to give you 5 packs of paper, 1 for each color family. And this designer series paper, we're talking about 200 sheets of 6x6 paper, 1 from each color family, including the in colors. Not the ones that are going to be retiring, but the ones that are going to stay. that just came on board this last catalog season. But this right here is over a $57 value, and this is paper that you cannot get until the next annual catalog comes out. So that's a lot of paper to get you started, and before anybody else can get it. You're also going to get free shipping, and then the value of the tax. So you're basically getting over $240 worth of whatever product. If you need business supplies, they throw the business supplies in there, which you don't have to do it as a business. You can do it simply for the discount. When the Stampin' Up! Has sales, you get your 20% discount on top of sales, on top of clearance, the whole 9 yards. It really is a great deal. And you also get pre-order status, which means before annual catalogs, mini catalogs, before sales. Well, sales, which mainly you get notified, but before annual catalogs and mini catalogs and any other kind of promotions that go on, Stampin' Up! Will give you the opportunity to pre-order items at your discount and get them before anybody else, before that catalog comes out. Here in about, a month, I guess. We're going to have access to the next new annual catalog. How exciting is that? Super exciting. So let's go ahead and do the drawing. And don't forget, you have to do all this. You have to order, and you have to be able to purchase your kit before midnight tonight. That's the important part right there. Now, the other important part is, how do you get on this wheel? And if you're watching me for the first time, like I said earlier, I give away what we do every single week. And last week we made these 3 cards using the Treasure of Life stamp set out of the January to June mini catalog. And we're going to give those away. And how do you get on the wheel is when you like and you comment and you share my video. And when you share my video, you get on the wheel twice. And lots of people have won because of their share. So let's see who's going to win these cards. And hopefully it'll be a grandparent. Marianne Sanders. It was her share. See? Marianne, I wasn't looking at my comments the whole time, so I don't know if you're watching. But if you're watching, congratulations. And I know you've won before, so I will get your cards out in the mail to you tomorrow. I want to say she won last week, but I could be wrong. Maybe that was Shirley Taylor. I don't know. But congratulations, Marianne. Let me put this aside. And let's see. Where do I start? Oh my goodness. I'm trying to figure out, where do I start? Let's start with what I'm doing, okay? So if you have your January to June mini catalog, and if you don't have a catalog and you need one, let me know. Let me know, and I'll send you one. But today, we're going to be doing cards. We're going to do 3 cards and a little box project using the Snail Mail Suite. Look at these fun colors. It's on page 54 and 55. And I think those are the only 2 pages. Yeah, 54 and 55 of your mini catalog. And we're pretty much going to use everything. I don't think I use these little dots, but I'm going to pull those out and use those after all. Let me get those out before I forget, because I intended to break those out and use those and totally forgot about those, but we're still going to use them, okay? But the items are set. You can purchase everything separate, and then you can also purchase them as a bundle, or actually a suite collection. And with the suite collection, you're going to get the cling stamp set. There's also coordinating dies. I'm going to show you what all the dies do here. And then you also have a twine combo pack that is Blushing Bride and Whisper White. So you've got this twine combo pack. You also get the resin hearts embellishment. So they're little bitty hearts in real red and I said whisper white, basic white. Oops, it's basic white, you guys, not whisper white. Unless I did say, I don't know what I said now. But anyway, it's basic white and real red. So those come in it. And then you also get, it's a full 12 by 12 pack of designer series paper. This one's not a full sheet because I had to cut off some for what I was doing today. But let me show you. You get 12 sheets of double-sided paper because you know I like to show both sides. But look at these fun images of these snails, mail, mushrooms. Okay, so there is that side. That's all of those sides right there. And when you flip it over, let me see if I can squeeze that one off to the side there. These are the other sides that have these prints on them that all coordinate with the same colors. And that's one good thing that Stampin' Up! is really known for, is all of the color coordination. These little scribbles. This page right here is a full sheet of hello, and it looks like a couple of languages. That's spelled H-A-L-L-O, so I don't even know what language that is. I recognize bonjour. And then there's also a heart. So that's what that full page is. But look at how fun and bright all these colors are. But these images on the other side are even more fun. You know, these large mushrooms with all their coordinating colors, which, by the way, just happens to be, let me see. We're dealing with basic gray, Bermuda Bay, blushing bride, daffodil delight, real red, and basic white. So lots of fun designer series paper to work with there. And let me show you what the dies do. So as part of the dies that are here, like this one that I'm pointing to right here, in the designer series paper, it will die cut these two little envelope images. And then this one right here die cuts out this little fella out of the designer series paper, which is super cute. And that's why I like this designer series paper, because you can choose to stamp this guy right here, and then he's also on the designer series paper, but you can also just die cut him out. And that keeps you from needing to stamp anything, to color anything. So that's why I like the designer series paper. It's already done for you. How easy is that? Okay, so you've got that one, and then this large one right here will, this stamped image, it will die cut out that stamped image. And then this large one right here die cuts out this image right here. And this one I've stamped in Memento ink, and I've also colored with some of our blends, but that one die cuts that one out. And then you have this one, let me use two hands here. This one right here die cuts out those little circles that have hello and bonjour and allo, whatever that, however you say that one, but that one does that one. And then you've got this large square that die cuts out this giant postage stamp. And then you've got two hearts, two of these little die cut hearts, and I've done a couple of those. And then you have these mushroom images, and I did some in white just so that you could see what it looks like in contrast to other colors. But I also took one of the scraps of the designer series paper that I was working with and cut them out using designer series paper just to give them a little fun color. And then you also have this one right here, which die cuts out like a rectangular, it's kind of like a piece of paper, I guess, but it has a little rectangular stitching to the end. And then this one right here this large one will die cut you out actually an envelope. So I just did an envelope in some Blushing Bride, and it even has the score marks for you so that you can fold it. And then I put a glue dot right back behind here just to help hold it in place. So that's a lot of dies that you get, a lot of really neat dies. And I will tell you that if you're wondering how they did this mailbox, I actually did at least a month or two ago, I guess it was. I don't know if I posted it here on Facebook, but I definitely posted it to my YouTube channel. But I did a little quick 3, 4, 5 minute tutorial. I think it was like a 3-minute tutorial to show you how to make this mailbox here using some of the dies that we have on hand. So let's go ahead and get started. We're not going to do the mailbox today. We're going to do 3 cards and a little box project. So let's go ahead and get this started. Where's my cards? Oh, they're right here. This is going to be the first one that we're going to do today. Really cute, and I will tell you, I use some of the dies, and then on some of these that don't have dies, you're going to become really good friends with your paper snips. And I generally have a couple of pairs of paper snips just because I try to use one for just paper, and then I also keep one for just ribbon so that it's really, really sharp. And generally I'll put a piece of ribbon on here just so that I don't accidentally pull the wrong kind when I'm trying to cut. So let's put that aside and let's go ahead and put this thing together. I literally have already done, except on the very last project, just because I wanted to show you how to do that on the last project. I've already either stamped and die cut everything, or manually cut everything out. So like I said, you're going to become really good friends. And you know what? It looks like I'm about to run out of that. Let me get me a fresh adhesive there. That way I can show you how to do that if you've not yet seen that done. So I know at some point I am going to run out. So this piece right here, see, look, I just ran out. Well, that didn't take us far. But basically, if you've never seen it done, mine has glue all over it. This is just the reality of getting adhesive all over everything. And I need to really clean this. But basically, this does come apart. And then all you have to do is take that out. And you can throw that away. And then you can tear it, but you don't really have to tear it. I just open mine from the top and it opens just fine, and then I recycle those. But on the back side, you've got 2 little grooves here that tell you basically where it needs to go, and then you just pop it back in. But before you do that, you know what, you should always clean this little area right here of any extra adhesive that you got trapped there. That way your next roll doesn't start getting gummed up there. And that is it. So simple. But this piece right here, we have a Bermuda Bay base, and we're going to put this 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white on the inside. And I will tell you that on the inside, I took these little mushrooms from the Designer Series paper and cut those out. And I was looking for my little silicone mat. Where's my silicone mat? All right, I can't blame anybody for not being able to find anything because I'm the only one that's ever in this area. But we're just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back If you want, you can certainly use glue as well. And we're just going to put these right here. And the reason why I have it on the silicone mat is because this adhesive doesn't stick to the mat. So if you're using glue, why won't this come out? If you're using glue or this adhesive, it'll just pick right back up. Oh, you know what? That's kind of backwards, but we'll still put that there. I guess on the designer series paper, there's two of them, one going left and one going right. Okay, so we've got the inside, and if you were going to stamp something on the inside or write something, before you put this down, that would be the time to do that. I should have said that. Okay, and then now we have a piece of basic white, which I need to write these measurements down. This one is 3.5 by 4.5. And so this piece right here should be about 1/4 inch next. No, this is 3 by 4. So instead of the normal 1/4 inch, I went ahead and did 1/2 inch. Shake it up there just a little bit. But we're gonna mat this piece right in the middle. Show a little bit more of that basic white. And then we're going to put this piece down on the Bermuda Bay. That way you see a lot more of that Bermuda Bay all the way around. Okay. And then this little fella right here, I know that he is, he's cut out. I did cut him out. And I did all of that just to save some time because I knew this would be just a little extra long. But for this guy right here, we want to put him down first. And get him down here in the corner. He looks like a really wise snail, doesn't he? Little bow tie. Cute. And then I also manually cut out one of these large mushrooms. I'm trying to use up all my little dimensionals because I have lots of them. I tend to use the larger ones just because they're easier, but I really need to make sure that I go back and use these up too. And you know what? I don't even know why I put these on dimensionals because on here it's flat. Okay, well, it's going to go on dimensionals. But I had him down here just so that I could determine where to put him so that he wouldn't get covered up, this mushroom. Okay, so we're just going to put him right there. And then I did cut out this little fella right here, this little gift box from the designer series paper. I don't know which page it was on. Oh, it was on this one. That has that snail you can die cut and that, and then it also has a snail with his eyes closed. But let's just put him down instead of the other one, even though I kind of did that backwards. We're going to put that right there. I think that's just a little bit off, but I also went ahead and manually cut out one of these. I don't know why it's not advancing like I need it to. And I'm going to put him just right there. Just something for extra fun. And then I use the die cut to punch one of these little fellas out. So colorful. So colorful. And then we're going to make him look like he's sitting on top of this mushroom. Just stick him right there. And then I'm going to put this one down directly using our adhesive, just right here. So see, there was absolutely no stamping on this, you guys. This is strictly cardstock and designer series paper. This hello is already printed for you. So there is the one that I did, and there's the one that we just did. Cute. And then you have the inside as well that has these fun little mushrooms, colorful mushrooms. So there is card number 1. This is going to be a kit that you can get, part of a kit that you can get for free in the month of March. And let me show you, because I have it right here. This is what your kit would actually look like. You're going to have your base. Your envelope is going to have all of the things that you need for each individual card. That's the one we just did. And you're going to be able to put together 99.5% of all these cards without needing any other additional materials, unless you want to purchase any of this and buy more and make more. But all of these are already part of the designer series paper, so those have kind of been cut out for you. You will have to manually cut all that, except if it's a die cut, and then I die cut it for you, kind of like that hello. And then the last project, that's a little sneak peek, is actually a paper pumpkin box with all of the material. So your kit, everything will be cut for you, die cut. There is one thing that's embossed, that'll be embossed for you. The only thing you have to do is any stamping and anything using maybe one of the blends. But that would be what your kit looks like for March. And you can get that free when you place an order of at least $25 or more on my website. If you do something today, I'll give you the choice. I'm not gonna be picky about that, but definitely in March, when you place an order of $25 or more, you're gonna get this free kit in the mail in order to make everything that we're doing today. So let me put that back off to the side, and then let's do card number 2. Okay, so now we have, I said everything was cut, but I just see something that's not. So we have a real red base here. So let's get our base. And I'm just using our bone folder in order to help burnish that edge a little bit. And then I should have 2 pieces. Yeah. I have 2 pieces of basic white, and I know one of these pieces, let's go ahead and put that on the inside, because the inside has this little fun little yellow mushroom on the inside. And same thing, if you wanted to stamp something on the inside or write something, definitely put that down before you go putting this down so you don't mess up your card. And let's see. Here we go. I knew I had cut him out. And it doesn't require much. Just stick him right there on the corner. Okay? And then we have our other 4x5 1/4 piece. Oh, you know what? We're not going to do that just yet. We need to put these pieces down. Okay? There's ribbon involved. That's why I said that. So let's put adhesive on the back part. Okay, look at how fun those are. Those little snails. That one has like a little piece of mail hanging out of his mouth. Cute. So let's center that one on this piece. And we're just talking about 1/4 inch less. So the white's 4x5 1/4. And so this piece of designer series paper is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, and then I want this piece to show on the front, so let's put some adhesive on the back of this and get that right there, just to break up a little bit of the designer series paper on the back. And then I have 2 pieces of the twine, one each of the Blushing Bride and the basic white. I'm going to do a double bow, and so that's why I wanted to wait to put that down. So let's just wrap that around. Make sure it's a little even there. There we go. And then start to tie your bow. And then you want to do it like a little T like that. You don't want to pull it too hard, because when you pull it too hard, this is what happens. Your paper starts to bow. So pull it tight, but not like really, really tight. Okay? And then if you have a pair of, which I went and bought me a new pair because it has teal on it, reversible tweezers, you can help hold that down while you're tying your bow. And just tie your bow. You're tying a double bow here, and then pull it tight, and then just pull those out. And then that way you've got a little bit of wiggle room so that you can move your bow wherever you want to move your bow. Okay, but once you get it into place, if you want to keep it there, then all you have to do is just take a glue dot and put it back behind where that bow comes together, and that'll help hold it in place. And I think, what did I do with my resin dots? This is where I think this would be a good place to put a resin dot, because I know I've opened these before. Because this, y'all know me, I like to put things in the middle of my bows. Let's put a red one, just to give it some contrast. We'll put a red one. And you know what? If that's not enough, I think that should be enough. If you're worried about, let me just say this, if you're worried about your embellishment coming off, take a glue dot and try not to, like, you know, make it a little ball, but do your best to get it back behind there, and that'll help hold it down to your ribbon. I just think that's a good little tip to help put something there, keep it there, and make sure it's not going to fall off. And then after that, this is where you want to put your adhesive on the back, and then attach this whole piece to your front. Okay. And then I am using the double oval punch, which the double oval punch punches this scalloped oval, and it also punches one that's a little bit smaller, that's got a smooth edge to it, that goes on the inside. So if you wanted to mat the smaller one in the larger one, you have that option as well. And what I did with that one is, I just, in Memento ink, I am going to make sure, yeah, we're going to stamp "You Snailed It." Now, another tip that you could do if you're worried about it getting on here crooked or what you could do is, you could also ink it up, stamp it on your scratch piece of paper, and then take your punch, and then doing it this way, you can get it straight however you need to. So I'm going to go ahead and punch an extra one. That way I have an extra one on hand. Let's see. Is that the one that I just did? Oh no, that was the one I already had. But you know what? Let me do the one I just did. That one looks a little bit more straighter. And I know I have that punched up with some dimensionals, but I'm going to put this flat down after all. That way only one thing. And we're going to put that right down here at the edge. And then this little fella, that's why I was like, I thought I had cut everything out, but I didn't. So that is not even the same one. What did I do? All right. Let's do this. Here's an extra one. Maybe I just did it wrong. Well, clearly I did it wrong. So y'all will get to watch me cut this little guy out, which, by the way, when you're cutting, you do want to get as close as you can to your where your scissors come together, and try to use long strokes And then also turn your paper instead of your scissors. And that just helps just keep things so much smoother when it comes to cutting things out that manually need to get cut out. And you do want to leave a little bit of white all around the edge. Go as long as you can before you have to open your scissors. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but y'all know it's laundry day over here at the Ragsdales. So washers are going off, dryers are going off. Okay, and then just cut around, move your paper. And you'll be so surprised to see that sometimes when you take your time and cut these out, that no one will ever know it's not a die. Ta-da! See? It's a die. So let me find my, oh, here they are, dimensionals. So we can put this guy up. We're going to pop him up with some dimensionals. And I'm going to put 3, just because he's large. This is the one where he looks like a really wise snail that's getting ready for retirement. Like, he loves his job. Okay, and we're just going to put him right here, just to help fill in that little area right there. And if you wanted to, you could definitely put something like that on there. There's a die cut for it, or sometimes it's just easier to manually cut those little pieces out. But there is card number 2. That's the one that I did, and this is the one that we just put together, which that looks a little crooked, so maybe it's not. I don't know. What do you think? Hi, Marianne. Thanks for watching. I'm looking up at the comments just to browse. But there's card number 2. Okay. I'm going to go back and put a dot on that one because I really think it really does add a little bit of a touch to put one of those little resin dots in the center of that one. And then, where are we at? Card number 3. Nice and colorful too. We have a, oh, you know what? Oh no, it's, never mind. I'm seeing things. We have a basic white base. Okay, and then we don't have to put anything on the inside unless you want to. I don't know, did I put something? No, I left that one blank. Because it's a white base. Normally when it's a non-white base is when you'll want to put a piece of white on the inside. But we've got a piece of Bermuda Bay, which Bermuda Bay actually is one of my favorite colors because it looks really, really, really similar to teal. But we're going to put that down. That's just the standard piece there. And then this little piece right here, what is this? This is Blushing Bride. This is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And on this one, I'm not going to stamp on the back of it, but I did, on my sample, I did stamp the little heart in Daffodil Delight, just to give it a little, but after I saw that, I was like, I don't know that I like that, but, so I'm not going to do it on this card. I'm just going to put this piece of Blushing Bride down, and we're going to turn it sideways. And then I wanted to use this really bright color of Designer Series paper, so we're going to put that down next. And we're going to put that one sort of straight, just so that you can see a little bit of that Blushing Bride peeking out behind that. And then using that large postage stamp, I die cut that out in the Designer Series paper that has it's the real red background, but the little hearts are in Blushing Bride. We're going to put that down in the center. Looks like it's straight. And then I did die cut out. Oh, you know what? I am missing a piece. Uh-oh, I am missing a piece, but I can do one really, really quick when I get to that point. But I did die cut out the little envelope, and it does have little perforations around the edge, and then it also has the little score marks. So in order to do that, you do have a couple of sides that one is clearly bigger than the other. I like to use the smaller one as the bottom. So all you have to do is fold on the score marks, and you can use your bone folder to help get that crease down, and then do the same thing for the other sides. And then fold over the other side. And then where those two pieces come together is where you can take a glue dot. Let me get a glue dot and just stick it right back behind there so that when it folds over, it helps attach to the other side. Okay? And then you also have this piece here, so you have the option of folding it or just leaving it up like that. And on this one, we're just going to leave it up. Okay, so let's get some adhesive on the back of that, and we're going to put that one right here. And then I went ahead and die cut out a little heart. So we're going to put a glue dot on the back of that heart, and we're going to put it right there at the center where those pieces come together. And then I die cut one of these guys out using the Designer Series paper. So let's get a couple of glue dots on the back of that one. And then we're going to put that one right here. Ooh, somebody just zoomed by. Did y'all hear that? And then this is what I need to cut out, because I don't see an extra piece. Do I? No, I don't. All right, let me cut this little piece out right here really, really quick. It'll be really quick. Okay, pop that out. There we go. We're going to stamp on this. We're going to stamp on this little piece right here. And we're going to stamp in Bermuda Bay. The word hello. The word hello. So just ink up. I got too much on that edge right there, and so I need to be real gentle when I do this. That could have been a little better, but that's okay because of the way it's going in. It's not going to be noticeable. But what I was getting at is when you press too hard on our ink pads, literally if you press too hard and go either side or push all the way down too much, you're going to get ink around the edge there, and this is what's going to happen. If you press too hard when you go to stamp, you're going to see that shadow around the edge of your stamp. So that's why you want to be careful and just tap, tap, tap. But I tap, tap, tap and kind of went to the side a little bit just to get it on that side. So I'll have to clean that later. But that's all the stamping that we're doing on that. And then just put a little adhesive on the back. And then it's going to look like this piece is kind of hanging out of the envelope. Which is why I said, you know, if it's a little crooked, it's okay. It's not going to be like completely noticeable. But there you have it. There's card number 3. The only difference is I did not stamp on the background, which that's completely optional. I actually think I like it without it, but if you like to stamp backgrounds, I just stamped the little heart image in Daffodil Delight. So there is card number 3. Cute and colorful. Okay. And then the last thing that we're going to do is a little paper pumpkin box. I didn't decorate the edge of it, but I really think that I will go back and add some edging around that, which will be in line with this real red and this embossed Blushing Bride. I think that'll really help it a little bit more. I don't know. For me, it just seems a little too plain. So we're going to do a paper pumpkin box. And these boxes actually are pretty large for being mini paper pumpkin boxes. And on the inside, you've got this waxy part to it. So these are also food grade. So if you're gifting somebody a cookie or some kind of pastry or something, you don't have to worry about those bleeding through on the outside and the grease showing on the outside. So if you've never put together one of our little mini paper pumpkin boxes, everywhere that you see a score, you want to fold. You want to do all your folding first, and that just helps with putting it together. If you really think you need to, you can always take your bone folder and help, you know, burnish those edges. That way it really does not give you any problems with folding and whatnot. But generally you can get away with just folding it and giving it a little pressure in all of the areas that have a score. And because we're going to be putting it together, you want to do all your folding going in the same direction on the inside. So just keep going down. There's no rhyme or reason as far as folding. Just fold everything going in towards the inside. I think I got all my folds. Okay, so now that you have all your folds, what you can do is start putting your box together, and you bring these little pieces in and bring those over, and those little cutouts will just pop into place. So these little pieces right here will either fall out or they'll pop out when you do that. So bring your tabs together, fold that piece over, and then you've got these pieces. So you're almost done. And then these pieces go on the inside, and these tabs fall into place on the front like that. There you go. And then those little pieces just pop out. Okay, so now we're gonna decorate this. And I keep looking for something and I cannot find it. Don't know where it went. Okay. All right, so we have a piece of real red. So for now, we're just going to decorate the top. And this particular piece here is, what are we looking at? We're looking at 5.5 by 3 3/4. And so this is the next 1/4 inch down, and this is Blushing Bride, and I use the textile 3D embossing folder in order to emboss this piece of Blushing Bride. So you can see a little bit of that embossing going on. I didn't want it to be just plain, so I decided, oops, ooh, you gotta be careful with embossed. Be gentle, or it's gonna tear. If you press down too hard, it will tear. But we're gonna mat this piece on that piece of real red. My thing is coming out there. Okay. Now I'm gonna put this, go ahead and put, no, you know, let me go ahead and put the Designer Series paper. I liked this little squirrely paper too. I don't know. I liked it. So we're gonna put that on next. I think this Blushing Bride and this real red color really do complement each other. And you can certainly make this piece a little bit smaller if you want a little bit more of that embossing to show up. Okay, so now let's put all 3 of these layers on the box. And I am using Seal Plus. If I can get it to come out. There we go. And I'm trying to be really slow about this because I'm trying to make sure that it gets right around the edge and that I have good even coverage. Oops, kind of went sideways with that one. And then when you put it on, you do need to make sure, depending on how you want your loops to go, I wanted my loops to go on top. So, but you can certainly end up putting them upside down if you're not paying attention to the front of your box. So, but I did that because I wanted to make sure that this was going to stick and that none of the pieces around the edge would be loose enough to where they got caught on something. So I just was making sure that my adhesive was literally right around the edge with that box. Okay, and then now I have one of these postage stamp dies in Real Red. Oops. So we're going to put that down kind of at an angle. And then I have this little piece here because I'm going to stamp Happy Mail enclosed. And I'm just stamping it in Memento ink. That is all, yeah, that's all the stamping we're doing. And then I'm just going to trim it. There's not a die, but you can just literally follow right outside these little dotted lines and cut those out. So I've got that ready, and then I do have another envelope that I did in Blushing Bride. So we'll put that one together real quick. And where's my glue dots? This is how I've had to work out my little backward glue dot dilemma, you guys. I had to modify my box a little bit so I could just pull them out and then leave it down like that. Okay, so let's get some adhesive on the back of this. And don't forget, these are going to be the prizes for next week. I'm probably going to split them up since there's 4 of them. Just to share the love a little bit with everybody. That way we'll have a couple of winners next week, not just one. And then we're just going to stick that inside where that's peeking out. And then my little loose heart there. We'll put a glue dot on the back of that and stick that right in the middle where those 2 pieces come together. And I'm going to see if this is large enough. I think I might need to get a bigger piece. Let's see. I think that's large enough. This was the only stamping that I was going to show you today. I think that piece is large enough. We're going to try it. If not, I've got another piece over here. But I'm taking this particular stamp and I'm doing this last one this way just to show you. Let me see if I can stamp this real quick. Oh yeah, that'll work. Okay. And then let me close that up. And let's see. This little fella right here is this stamp. Okay, that is not any of the designer series paper. And that's because I wanted to show you, you do get a lot of them. So if you save all of these from your designer series paper or the snails, you're going to get a lot. But if you also want to break out the stamping part and use the blends, you can certainly do that. Okay, and I am actually going to, I'm going to sit down to do this, and I hope that you can see me. Let me see. Yeah, you can see me. I can't see the comments right now, and I had to get a little closer in order to do this. But we're going to stamp this in Memento ink, and I'm going to show you how you can basically make the same little fella. This piece right here, this is the designer series paper. Okay, so I'm going to put those two kind of side by side just so that you can see what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to start from the top. I'm taking the light Bermuda Bay blend, and I am just coloring the top little gift. And then I also have the dark Daffodil Delight blend, and I am going to color the inside but every other part to the shell so that those lines in between are white, like the designer series paper. I'm just trying to mimic the designer series paper, but I also want to show you how I was able to come up with the color of the snail's body to be pretty much like the designer series paper. And I'm going to show you what's going to happen if you try to use some of the other products to get that same effect. Okay, so there's the body, and then I went ahead and used I did use both the blend, the Real Red blend, and you can certainly use the brush tip or you can use the little marker tip. Let's do the marker tip. I had used it a couple of times with the Stampin' Right marker, but I'm just going to go over the black line here with the ribbon. Now I went ahead and did the ribbon, but you can tell from my sample, my finished product, that even though I did the red lines with Real Red, I decided to put some of the linen thread up there instead of keeping this real ribbon the same there. So let me show you what happens when you use other products that we have. I'm just going to give you an example, and while I'm doing this, I'm actually going to show you what I actually had to do in order to get that, because you can tell this color really does look like the cardstock. It really does look like the color that's the Blushing Bride that's on the designer series paper. It's a little bit darker than the designer series paper, but I'm okay with that. And so this is what a few products do for you. I'm actually going to use the Blushing Bride Stampin' Right with what I'm doing here. And this is what it will look like when you use the Stampin' Right. That was me going over a couple of times and it just kept getting darker. But I did use the blends on both of those. So that was the same thing. I looked at it with Rococo Rose. These are little strip colors of all the other colors I used. I used Rococo Rose. I used light and dark Flirty Flamingo. And I also looked to see, well, what does Calypso Coral look like? None of those really looked like Blushing Bride when you put it up against. None of them did. So, and then on this one, I said, well, let me see what the ink refill does with the watercolor. And that, like, you guys, that just looks like a hot mess. And that's supposed to be Blushing Bride, the ink. And when I did that, when you do your watercoloring, you can just take your let me see if I can reach it from here, your re-inker, and then squeeze a drop onto this side of your stamping pad, and then work from this side. That's what I did. The way we used to be able to do this is we would just squeeze our ink pads, and ink from the pad would transfer to the other side, and you could just work with that. But I've heard these could break, and I'm not trying to break my Stampin' ink pads doing that. So, but that was using the inker and the water blends pens that we have. And that looks like a dirty snail. I don't know about y'all, but that does not look like Blushing Bride. It looks like a snail that needs to take a bath. And so I was like, yeah, we're not doing that. So what I ended up doing is taking the Stampin' Write marker, because on our markers we have two ends. We have a brush tip end and we also have a writing end. And I literally colored the snail with the brush tip, and I had to go over it a couple of times because unlike the blends, it doesn't really blend, if that makes sense. It really doesn't blend well like the normal blends do. It's kind of, how can I say it? Real liney. Like you can see the lines, your brush lines. So I had to go over it a few times just to get it kind of even. It will dry. Once it starts to dry, it'll lighten up. So I know it looks dark right now, but it will start to dry a little dark, a little lighter than that. But that's what I used in order to get the same color so that it would look like the piece of designer series paper. So when you run out of that, there's still other options in order to do that. Okay, and I think that was it. No, that's not it. I took the red tip of the Stampin' Write marker and I dotted on those little black dots. And I gave it a little bit of pressure so some of that red would go outside the black dots. Because on the designer series paper, there's those little red dots. Okay, so let me die cut that out real quick. That's the only part that I didn't die cut out because I wanted to show you how I did that piece. So let me do that really, really quick. Whoops. That was just a block. That sounded worse than what it was, but that was just a block. Okay. And then I use that die cut to die cut it out. Okay. So let me bring my box back over here and let's get some dimensionals on the back of this one. Let's put her right here. And then we're going to make a double bow. I'm taking them straight off the piece of, straight off the roll. Let me try to find the end there. So I'm going to put my two pieces together. And then I'm going to end up just making a bow. Go. And then because it's still on the roll, I can control my loop sizes, my two loops, and then pull it tight. And if you need to adjust another side again, just hold the middle of it, pull that loop. Same thing with the other side, and then pull it tight again, just to get a nice little tight bow there. And then at that point, you can trim, oops, that off of there. I'm gonna have to trim that again. Just trim your little tails there, however long you want them to be. You can just trim those. Oops, it was rough. And then get you a glue dot on the back of that. Try not to touch the glue dot. And then you can cover up that little bow. So you can leave it that way, or once you put that over it, it just helps cover up that bow. So really doing the coloring the line is sort of optional, I guess you could say. Sort of optional. And then if you wanted your snails on any of your projects to sparkle, you can definitely break out the Wink Stella and then just brush it over, which, let's see. Thought I had my Wink Stella right here. I'm not sure what happened to my Wink Stella. I'm looking. I don't know where my Wink Stella is, but you could definitely sparkle up your little snails. That way it looks like slime if you want your snails to be a little slimy. But so let's bring back all of the projects, and let me do this one real quick, just in case any of you missed maybe me doing this before. I'm using this C block here. But this is a really quick, easy way to take your cling stamps off and attach them to your stamps. Okay, so let me show you. And when you do this, you always want to make sure that you have a stamp that is pretty much about the same size as the stamp that you're going to be stamping on and that you use. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just take off this piece. You have to take that piece off, and then you can put that one upside down. And then when you take off your cling stamp, this is where you have to be careful. You want to make sure you peel off both of the layers. Oops, both of the layers. So this piece right here is real sticky. Okay, because that's the part that actually is going to stick to your acrylic block. Okay, so we want to take off these pieces here. So when you peel those pieces off, the part that I'm peeling off, that is really sticky. Okay, so that's the part that's going to be attached to this. So when you put it on, you want to make sure that you're putting this piece on with the cling side down. Okay, so as long as it's cling side down, if you do it the wrong way, then you're going to have a heck of a time getting this cling stamp off of this acrylic, because this part right here is super sticky. This part is what attaches itself to your stamp, and it'll never come off, and if you try to, it will rip. Okay, so then when you flip your block around, you can line up your image with your stamp. So this is where you want to make sure that if there is a top or bottom to this, because sometimes it could look like the same image upside or down. So this one's pretty easy. So there it is on the front, and there it is on the back. So I know that I'm going to be putting this on the right way. And then you just take this and you hover it over. Oops. Oops, 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 oops. Okay, that looked really, really bad there, you guys. If you hover it too low, you're going to get caught. So I'm kind of glad that happened. So yeah, you do want to make sure that you hover it until you've got it in place. And I'm doing this standing up. And then once you're close to your edges and you're lined up, then you just press it down. And then now you have your cling stamp attached to your label. So yeah, you do have to be careful when you're hovering it, because if you get too close, just like it did on me, it will catch on, and then I could have totally freaked out there doing this, but that's how you do it. And that's why you really do have to be careful putting your cling stamps on your labels, because once it's crooked, it's crooked. It will stay there, and then you'll just have to deal with it. And then, of course, you can take it off and put it back on with the rest of your stamps. So, but I did want to show you that really, really quick again, because I know sometimes these little tips are kind of mingled in with other things going on with the videos. So let me push all this aside and bring back everything that we did today. That was the box that we just did. There is that card. Don't forget, this is going to be the free kit in the mail for the month of March. And you saw me put almost everything together without doing any stamping. Okay, so there's that one. I don't know how much you can see from that side there. And then you also have this one, which I think you can see all of that. Yeah, it looks like you can. Okay, and then I will change the code for next month. But if you decide to take advantage of Celebration today, I'm going to give you the option whether you want the Berry Blessings free kit in the mail, or if you want to take advantage of the Snail Mail bundle in the mail for next month. But don't forget, in order to take advantage of Celebration, your order does have to be at least $50 or more. And so that'll get you the freebie for Celebration, anything you want for free, but it'll also get you, because it's $25 or more, it'll also get you a free kit in the mail. So I hope that you guys liked this. I had fun putting these together. I really did. And I will go back and decorate the box, the side of the box a little more. And so, but because I'm running a little bit behind, because I thought I had some extra time, let me get this pointed around. That way you can actually see me. Okay, but because I thought I had a few extra days in the month, and apparently, clearly I don't, because today's the last day of the month. It's going to take me a little bit longer to finish putting the supply list together and post, but as soon as I do that, I'll update this post in order to list the supply link, so that if you see what you like, you know exactly what you need to order, and it'll link you straight to my shop. And so, but do take advantage of Celebration. This is your last chance. And then I will tell you that after February, Celebration will return in July and August. Thank you, Stella. They'll return in July and August for a whole new fresh set of things for free. So this is the first year that they're doing it. Stampin' Up! Is doing it this way, and so that's pretty exciting. Even though we only have 2 months at the beginning of the year, we're going to have 2 more months later in the year that's going to be with when the new annual catalog comes out as well. But it's also a whole month longer, because we're getting 4 months instead of just the normal 3 months. So that gives us an extra month of opportunity for earning things for free. And of course, as a demonstrator, we're going to know beforehand, we're going to know a whole month before what those items are going to be. So if you're somebody that wants to not only get discounts on their purchases and clearance items and sales and specials, the whole 9 yards, but you like to know things before other people like to know things, because that's the secretive part. That's the fun part, is just knowing what's going to come out and what's going to happen before everybody else knows what's going to happen and what's going to come out. Plus, you get to play with this stuff for like a whole month before anybody else could. So, and this month really is a great deal to get all those sheets of paper, those 200 sheets of paper, you know, included in with your kit. And that's new stuff that's going to be in the next annual catalog. So that's what's always exciting with Stampin' Up! There's always something new, fresh, pop-up sales with product, pop-up sales with promotions, to purchase your own kit and be a part of the Stampin' Up! Family. And so, but thank you for joining me today. I know we went over a little bit, but I had a lot to say. But I also have a lot to do tonight before midnight, so that I stay on track, because I don't have 3 extra days to do that like I normally do. So, oops. But thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm so glad I turned the AC on, because I would be dripping right now in humid sweat. It's horrible over here, but it feels good in here because I turned the AC on. But thank you. And if you want to join me Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be here for the next layout. And if you miss me, you can always watch the replay. And if you don't want to watch me Wednesday and you want to come back next Sunday, I'll be here next Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time to show you something else, show you how to use something else, something. It's gonna be cute. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I already know it's gonna be cute. Hi, Bonnie. But thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoons, and we'll see y'all later. All right, bye.